Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that's going to affect all of us, the future of money. We're talking about central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. But there's a huge storm brewing on the horizon. It's called quantum computing, and it poses a threat so massive it could literally crack the entire foundation of our digital financial world. Let's get into it.
This right here, this one sentence tells you everything you need to know. It's not a question of if our current encryption is going to be broken, it's a question of when. Seriously, think about it like this. It's like we've all been using the same type of lock for decades, and we now know for a fact that someone is building a universal skeleton key that will open every single one of them. The very idea of digital trust is on the line, so any new payment system has to be built for this new reality.
And look, this isn't some kind of far-off science fiction problem. No, this is happening right now. Bad actors are already doing what's called harvest now, decrypt later. What does that mean? Well, just imagine them recording massive amounts of encrypted financial data. Data that's gibberish today, knowing that in just a few years they'll have the quantum computer key to unlock all of it. They're stockpiling our secrets, just waiting. This puts the integrity of our entire national payment system at existential risk.
Okay, so that's the scary part. But for every big problem, smart people are working on a solution. So let's flip this around and look at what a quantum-ready system actually looks like. It's an architecture that's built from the ground up on 3 core pillars designed to tackle these threats head-on.
First up, pillar number 1, data sovereignty. The idea here is really simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Your most sensitive personal information, your customer data, it never leaves the secure servers of your own bank. A lot of systems today centralize data, which creates this one giant juicy target for hackers. This new approach keeps it distributed, which not only helps with things like GDPR compliance, but also just makes sure a country's financial data stays within its own control.
Pillar 2 is all about being ready for what's next. It's called PQC readiness, or post-quantum cryptography. Now, this is not just about slapping a new coat of paint on the old system. It's a fundamental shift. The whole point is to completely get rid of our dependency on that old, vulnerable public key infrastructure, or PKI, that we've been talking about. That's the thing that quantum computers are just waiting to tear apart. This new way ensures security not just for tomorrow, but for decades into the future.
And the third pillar, this is where it gets really cool. It's called KMS control. See, right now, our encryption keys are made using super complex math. Sure, but it's still predictable math. If you have a computer that's powerful enough, you can eventually crack the code. This system, though, it uses a truly randomized key generator. There's no underlying mathematical pattern to figure out. So what does that mean? It means even if a hacker somehow got their hands on one single key, it would be a complete dead end. They couldn't use it to reverse engineer any of the others. The attack is stopped before it even begins.
So let's walk through how this actually works when you, say, buy a coffee. It all starts on your device, like your phone. From there, the transaction is secured by your bank's own local quantum-safe system. Then, it zips through a central gateway and arrives securely at the coffee shop's bank. The most important part is that the security is locked down from end to end, and the whole thing uses a global standard messaging format, ISO 2022, so it can plug right into the existing banking world without a hitch.
All right, as with any huge new idea, people have questions, and they should. It's going to face a lot of scrutiny. So now we're going to dive right into the biggest criticisms you hear about these new digital currency plans and look at the rebuttals.
So a big one you'll hear is this. Hey, I already have apps on my phone that let me pay for stuff. Why do we need to build a whole new national system just to do the same thing? And you know what? It's a totally fair question. Why reinvent the wheel?
Well, the rebuttal gets right to the point. While the action of paying for something feels the same to you and me, what's happening under the hood is worlds apart. This new architecture provides that quantum-safe security right from its core. The private solutions we use today, they're all built on that old, vulnerable PKI system, leaving them wide open to that harvest now, decrypt later attack we talked about. This system just isn't. That's the unique value.
Okay, the next concern is all about competition. People worry that if the central bank creates its own digital currency, it could just steamroll the private companies and payment systems we already use and love. But the counterargument here completely reframes the goal. This system isn't designed to replace anything. A better way to think about it is like this. Imagine the government building a brand new, super secure, super fast highway system. It doesn't put car companies out of business. It actually lets them build even better, faster, safer cars to run on it. This acts as that foundational, common acceptance layer that makes the entire market more secure and competitive. It lifts everybody up. And of course, we have to talk about the practical stuff, the objections you always hear. With big projects like this, it's just going to be too complex and way too expensive to ever pull off.
But here's the twist. This architecture is actually built to be simpler and more efficient. Right now, when you make a payment, it has to bounce between a whole bunch of different systems and companies. This new model takes all those different jobs and rolls them into one single digital operating system. So for the banks and businesses involved, that means less complexity, fewer middlemen, and a whole lot less money spent on operations.
So, we've covered the risk, we've looked at the solution, and we've tackled the big criticisms. The big question is, where do we go from here? What's the plan? Well, there's a very clear, actionable path forward. The plan really boils down to 3 big, coordinated steps. First, the central bank has to take the lead and build out this new, secure post-PKI layer. Second, all the commercial banks and payment providers connect into this new system. And third, the vendors who make our phones and payment terminals work to embed this new security standard into all the devices we use every day, even the ones that need to work offline.
And this isn't just theory. It all comes together in a very tangible first step, a 12-month pilot program. This is where the rubber meets the road. It lets everyone, the central bank, the commercial banks, the tech vendors, test the system in the real world, start phasing out those old vulnerabilities, and do it all using a CBDC as a service model. That way, everyone can share the costs, which makes it a whole lot easier to get started.
At the end of the day, the big takeaway is this. This isn't just some small technical upgrade. It's a strategic decision about the future of our economy. The digital currency we build now will be the foundation for generations to come. So choosing a system that's quantum safe, that protects privacy, and that's cost efficient, well, that's not just about preparing for a threat in the future. It's about making the right choice right now to secure our financial system for a future that we all know is coming.